And now that the American people have entrusted Republicans with the House majority, our next guest believes it's more important than ever that the GOP makes First Amendment protections a top priority.
Joining us now to discuss the work that he's done to champion free speech in college campuses and beyond is North Carolina Congressman Greg Murphy. Congressman, thank you for joining us. Give us a feel for what you're trying to accomplish and what steps you're taking.
You know, I was on the board of trustees of my alma mater several years ago and became a conservative confidant for students on campuses and even a couple of professors who felt that they were limited in what they were able to say on campuses. And we've seen study after study that 70% at our roundtable 2 weeks ago, our campus free speech roundtable, one of the folks commented a statistic that 70% of students on campus, 70%, feel inhibited about what they want to say or what they wish to say, rather, because they fear repercussions of going against a professor or some of these other things. The First Amendment is there for a reason. It's the First Amendment for a reason. And that doesn't mean that college campuses need to have, quote, free speech zones. Every single inch of a college campus should be free speech, and we're trying to reinstitute that because, you know, the progressive left have taken over colleges and universities. Remember, college is where you should be taught to think, not what to think, and so we're really trying to make that a big movement. We've made a lot of headway in the last 2 years.
Congressman, there are statistics that say that when Elon Musk started to publish the Twitter files, all of the mainstream media outlets have only given about 14 minutes of coverage to it total. And of course, news organizations supposed to be bastions of free speech, but not now. Why do you think that is?
Yeah, Katrina, does that surprise you? It doesn't surprise me at all. It's because they didn't publish anything about Hunter Biden's laptop, and so why would it be any different now? They don't really, again, it's very, very sad that the mainstream media and journalism, for that matter, really don't seek the truth. They seek to influence what people thought. And this was not the purpose of media to begin with. And so it doesn't surprise me at all. What we need to do is get back to a world of balance, of absolute balance, so that people can make decisions for their own rather than the media telling them what to think.
Yeah, let's talk about college campuses again for a second. This, I assume, would apply to any school that receives federal funds.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and that would be the leverage. And with that, how would this be enforced? Because obviously your whole intent is to stay away from the heavy hand of government.
Yeah, it's interesting, Bob, because there's something called the Chicago Principles of Free Speech that was started many, many years ago. And a lot of colleges, campuses have adopted that. Sad thing is they may have adopted it, but are they really enacting it? And really going in and talking to students on college campus. One particular poll said that it was for 25% of college students said it was okay to shout down somebody who had a differing opinion. This nonsense is starting out in junior high school and high school, and honestly, it just needs to stop. College campuses are supposed to be places of freedom of expression where you can respectfully disagree. And so it's a whole mantra, and sadly enough, it starts from the top. Our former college president was a political activist, and it was an absolute abuse of power to have her political view on campus. You know, a college president, a college university president should be absolutely politically agnostic. And so it starts from the top, and it goes to professors and anybody else who is in a position of power.
By the way, what school is your alma mater?
This is Davidson College.
Oh, very good.
Which I love. I love the college, but
yeah.
The former president, it was an abuse of power.
Well, there are a lot of colleges going through the same thing you're describing going on there. A fine institution, so just kind of curious, wanted to get it out there.
Yeah, Congressman Greg Murphy, we appreciate it, and I agree, you're right. Colleges really are an opportunity to learn how to think, to expand, your brain truly, versus learning what to think. And I really appreciate your bringing that to our attention. Thanks so much.
All right, guys. God bless. Merry Christmas.
You too.
Thank you.